And now let's review what we did in this functions module on JavaScript so far. Give yourself a pat on the back. You just navigated through functions. In this lesson, we covered some important concepts about functions. A function is a reusable block of code that groups together a sequence of statements to perform a specific task. A function declaration looks like this. Function keyword, then we type the identifier or the name of the function, then a set of parentheses, and then the curly braces, and the body of the function is located inside of the curly braces. A parameter is a named variable inside a function's block, which will be assigned the value of the argument passed in when the function is invoked. Here are the parameters located inside the parentheses of the function. And then you use those parameters as arguments when you call the function, and you also use those parameters in the body of the function. To call a function in your code, you type identifier or name of the function and then a set of parentheses. ES6 introduced new ways of handling arbitrary parameters through default parameters, which allow us to assign a default value to a parameter in case no argument is passed into the function. To return a value from a function, we use a return statement or a return keyword. To define a function using function expression, you do like this. You set a variable, then you assign a function, anonymous function, to that variable. To define a function using arrow function notation, you do like this. You omit the function keyword and then you type the fat arrow syntax. Function definition can be made concise using concise arrow notation, and that is when you have only one parameter. For example, you can omit the parentheses, and single line means that you also omit the return keyword and you write everything on the same line without ending the multi-line block. And this is how you can do with the multi-line block. So one parameter again, without parentheses, you define a constant, and that statement or that line of code with a semicolon, and you write return on the next line. That is why it's called multi-line, and this one is called single line. You have only one statement, only one semicolon. It is good to be aware of the difference between function expressions, arrow functions, and function declarations. As you program more in JavaScript, you will see a wide variety of how these functions types are used. And now let's proceed to the project we should complete in this functions module. Okay, the project is called rock, paper, or scissors.